The problem of plastic pollution in the seas is well known, but new research has suggested that there could be many more tiny particles of the waste floating just beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean than scientists had realised. The findings, based on an analysis of samples and on computer modelling, highlight the largely invisible scale of the pollution clogging the world's second largest ocean. Victoria Gill has this.
A common sight on any beach walk. Plastic that we've thrown away, littering the shore. And in the decades that our discarded plastic waste has been finding its way into the environment, some of it has broken down into tiny pieces that wildlife can mistake for food. So scientists set out to find all that microplastic, particles smaller than the diameter of a human hair, floating in the Atlantic. On an expedition from the UK to the Falklands, researchers sieved the top 200 metres of the ocean at different locations and found that between 12 and 21 million tonnes of plastic is floating in the upper layers of the Atlantic.
By measuring the mass of very small microplastic particles in the top 300 meters of the Atlantic Ocean, we arrived at a new estimate of the load of plastic in the entire Atlantic, which is much larger than the previous estimate of 17 million tonnes that we thought we have put in the past 65 years.
The team only searched for the three most commonly used packaging plastics, so they say their estimate is likely to be conservative. But what all these microscopic fragments show is that decades of our plastic pollution has been washed out of rivers or even blown on the wind into the ocean. Some of that is plastic waste we buried years ago.
This is an old legacy landfill site, so this hump of earth is a landfill site that's not in use anymore. But all of the rubbish that was buried here, you can see, a lot of it was plastic, is just coming out of the ground as the sea erodes this away. So even when this plastic is disposed of formally and put into landfill, it's finding its way out of the ground and into the sea.
It's amazing about warming, isn't it?
Even through the coronavirus pandemic, volunteers have continued to pick up plastic litter from beaches. And some environmental groups say the pandemic itself has reignited our addiction to single-use plastics.
The disposable mask is now more pervasive than ever. We find more disposable masks than plastic bags on beaches. What we're really asking is that if, as much as possible, if people can reduce their use of single-use plastics and if people can dispose of it carefully.
Over the years, much of this pollution has become too small to see. But as this research reveals, it isn't going away. Victoria Gill, BBC News.